I'm in the bathtub again. And thank you, DK, for calling me. And we just had a conversation, chill me out and get me in the right. Because in a lot, I called in for my blood to go back to O, so that I can get out of an AB. Now, when we talk about, and this is going to answer your question. Putting my earbuds in, and thank you, Amy, for the background on Frenchie. I've known something was up with that. It was actually, I got to learn a little bit of French, and I knew that whatever it was helping me for a moment. But that's another little illusion that I'm not going to allow myself to get into. So thank you for that, Amy, because it is all the same. And see, this is my point. You have to remember how the world was operating, no matter who you were, was from the energy of more ascended human beings down here. You can call us from the future, you can call us Masonic, you can call us hidden, you can call us Irish, you can call us RH negative after the German War. No matter, even to that, all of it had to be done. The best way to explain this is from my journey, because it's how I figured it out. And each, just like the rays that are coming off my face, each layer of each bubble, you have layers of codes. This is whenever you level up into a new level, and then you think, oh shit, I'm done. Oh hell no. Oh hell no, you ain't done. You just hit a new current, a new layer of your jawbreaker. Now, one layer, if you have royal DNA, and I'll go back and look and see if I can find it. See, us on the polo, we witnessed this, because in a lot of what, and my journey is what showed me all of this, because these layers were literally stolen from all of us. Now, there's certain layers that were stolen from certain ones of us, and then maybe some of all of it. So whenever I say they just tried to take my body again, that's what I mean. And you have to birth every layer. It doesn't just come back. See, this is where I'm at right now. I'm having to rebirth all my layers again for the third time in 2 years. This is why I know all about it. But your body, when you come from the future, or even now, if you didn't have tech in your body because you weren't a clone and you weren't a thoroughbred that was made to create money energy down here, when everything blew up, which it did, and then we had to put DNA back together, which we did, then you're having to birth that within your energy field. It's why my rant, it's why I get so upset, because it ain't gonna just happen to me. When it happens to me, it ends up happening to everybody, especially since 2018, only because in the collective I took my place as a leader of the ascension, but I was never supposed to be the only one up there. That's what they did. They capped it off. Now I don't know if I'm the only one up there, but I do know that I was the only one that they put in that hyperbaric chamber in order to take my codes when I was 11 years old. Now, that's attached to technology, which is why I spent so much time in technology. Technology is just star energy. And star energy is just DNA. Period. Dot. So there's a layer that has flags in it. You don't see the flags. Now, we saw them on Polo One on here, because as we started putting back together and calling in different beings and different energies and all this shit that we had to call in for 3 years, and some of it was very specific people, some of it large groups, and we were seeing it impact the group. We were also seeing it impact my energy field. And so there was a layer that literally you can see flags. Now, understand, money has never been money. Money, as you know it, is a paper. It's a piece of paper. And then the collective, right? Because we decided a long time ago that money is how we barter. So I give you this, and then I'll give you this. And then from this, you can go get this, this, and this. Well, that is a financial and slavery program that Earth was just the last recipient of. And it wasn't the first. A financial and slavery program in its own way has existed on many other planets, universal dimensional systems across space-time. It wouldn't have been called money, but there would have been some type of system to where what? We all need it, and there's only a few that really control it. Now, what I'm saying, and this is a mind blower, so this now right here that we're in right now, we've been here before. We've been right here before. Every single one of us, all of us on this polo, whether it was you and your body, or whether it was your grandma, your grandpa, your granddaughter, shit, it just depends on what dimension you came back from. But all of our energies in some entanglement have all been here right now. When we talk about medieval times, realize that's what would have happened next. And my iPad just came on. That's why witches and the whole witch trials and finding us and killing us, see? Because basically what that was an entire collective that went to sleep. And literally we wake up in another dimension. And what you'd call witches and warlocks in that dimension were the ones that fucking knew what the fuck. Same as what we just did. Right? So I said all that to say, in the future, which is what bodies are down here, because future bodies, which is actually where Venus is right now in Izar, which is the highest thoroughbred energy, that's Arcturian energy. Now mind you, Arcturians were being made down here, but there wasn't even an Arcturus. All of Arcturus wasn't even getting to the planet. This is how we're waking up. That's why the entertainment community is so big on my getting in touch with me and my having to dealings with them and the government and the military and all that, because in a lot of ways we were all made in a lab together. We were all made in a lab together off one subset of a cell that might have been tripleized or quadricized, maybe split, but that's it. It wouldn't be any more than 4. That every single super soldier, every single clone, every single one was made from. but without the full energy to be able to activate the consciousness of that body so that it could be controlled. So first of all, we're waking up those people from within the communities, and it's like it's a virus inside of them that's just happening, to where the military entertainers, even the men who bought their little fuck dolls, are now waking up and they got a voice and they ain't too happy about it because they just wanted them to remain a little blow-up doll. Now, I know how it feels to be that because I was fully ascended with the Saturn Bellatrix, right? So it meant that I was in a program. That's why I was so unconscious, and then why it's taken so much for me to reactivate myself and so many of y'all to be able to activate me, because we all work together. Now, when we talk about money, understand that you've got a whole bunch of future bodies down here that is what it is. Human DNA and the energy of the collective and our sexual energy of the collective is what makes money. I don't care what you call it. I don't care if you call it money. I don't care if you call it bit. I don't care if we create coins. I don't care if we make up something called squirrelacious. And that is what I give you some squirrelacious and you give me some squirrelacious, and everybody accepts squirrelacious. Or how about this? We don't even need it. How about that? How about because whenever you're in the future, there's no money. There's no money in 4004 because we know that there's no money. Let me take it back. In the old energy, you get a jobby job. Then who pays you? A corporation. Well, who's managing the corporation? You have no idea, I promise you that. I was in Fortune 100 for 24 years. And I still can't even tell you for sure who was really running the corporation. Now, is the CEO involved? Yeah. Is he public? If he is, then I guarantee you that he don't even fully fucking understand what all's going on with that money and the energy of it. Now, where'd that energy come from to make that company? It matters. What banks is it sitting in? It matters. Because then all that has a frequency. So understand that, of course, whenever you activate fully even the most thoroughbred DNA on here, then we're naturally going to bring in the progression for money. It just shows up because our energy has changed. It's not a doll R. Doll. D-O-L-L. Doll. It's not a doll R. That's magic coming from the dolls. Then it became bit, which makes sense because where were we trapped? Aquarian age, where everything was bits. But we don't even call it bit. It's actually called crypto. And crypto is there's a puzzle. I solved it. It's right out. It's in front of Wall Street on the bull. It's a crypto puzzle. It's been right there the whole time. It's been telling us it's what's coming. Now, bit and crypto is only the foundation of digital currency. Digital currency is a bridge from one dimension to another, meaning you don't hold it in a bank. You hold it in your wallet. That matters That's why the banks want you to go put all their money in there, because they say, come give us your money. Well, when we put it in there, do we really know what they're doing with it? Is it really sitting in there? No. No, it's not. They're going to give you access to the 100,000 you put in there. It's credited for 100,000. When you spend 20,000 and you go get 20,000, they're going to give you 20,000. But do you really think that your $100,000 is sitting in that bank? Oh, fuck no, it's not. They have billions in that bank that then what are they doing? They're wheeling and dealing on Wall Street and everything else with your money, but you don't even know because it's just in the bank. Remember, it's insured that they have to give it to you, but that's not even true because the bank stole my money. Okay? So now, in digital currency, you hold it in your energy field. More like in the 4004, when we're in a collective energy where everyone understands that there's really no money, that good deeds and doing deeds for others is what the payment is, because it is what everything is. If I spend my energy and time with I have no problem doing entire auditorium healings for free, as long as somebody flies me there, pays for a place for me to stay, pays for my food, pays for my whatever I need, which is going to be a hellhole of a lot cheaper than me having to charge $100 for an auditorium full of people. I ain't got no problem with that. In the future, that's how it is. This is why those of us from the future are so fucking just besides ourselves. Into anyone thinking that any of this is free. Because it's not. It's your energy. When you give something your energy, it does help it manifest 100. Right? But then you just gave your energy. That energy has to be replenished. It's not going to come off from something else. You can run out, and then you have to completely refill up. Well, if you're not getting your stuff covered because you're doing everything for free, because everyone expects spiritual information to come for free, then how the hell do you fill back up, right? But in the future, that's how it is. And I even know it's going to come really quick. I mean, before the end of the ascension. Because remember, this is going to go on for sure until 2032. But I know even in the bridge that it's going to get to a point where those of us who cleared to collect all this money for the collective, that's why we've that's why we've proven ourselves to be worthy of being able to handle this much money for so many people. Because it's what we're here to do, to handle it for the people, to know how to make more money with it, to give back to people, to help the right people get the right businesses up, that we all work together and network together underneath an umbrella of it, because it's how it all works. It's a unified system. So there will be a point where the Ascended Collective, is going to have so much money that it's like, there'll be a period where it's like, New Orleans, you need $50 million. Okay, here. New Orleans, okay, you need another 20 million. Here's what's going on. Okay, here. To the point where it's like, we're going to be doing what? Just fucking help them. Everybody get together and help everybody, and we'll send some backup. Why are you waiting on my wire to come through? Everyone has the resources right there. So then why aren't you giving them to people? We're going to pay you for it somehow. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the future everyone wants to go to, because it is what it is. Because all us that were made from that energy, you can't even, there's no stopping the change now. We're all activated. And so the atmosphere and the civilization codes and how the beings that have been hybridized here from the future that now exist in this timeline, it is going to be that way. There's no way you can change it. Everyone has to catch up or not. And it is a soul progression, and not everyone's going to make it, because you have to completely get out of that whole mindset of tit for tat, because it doesn't make any sense. So but crypto and bit is blood. It's blood. Most starseeds, when you go buy bit for the first time, you got sick, you got a migraine, you probably got sick, because it's literally your energy. Because understand, what I'm telling you is the very top of the egg is what makes the money, and it's where the energy goes. So if you happen to be, which a lot of us are, at the top of that egg, then you literally are Bitcoin. And everyone's buying and trading your energy. But that's how it was set up. This was Anunnaki bullshit, and they wanted to make humans to make money. And they did. And it gets real in depth on how they do it, because they did it to me without my signature, but I have the contract. And then what they did back then was unwind me. So they unwound my rainbow thing, which is how then I had to keep reproving it, blah, 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 which is not going to happen again. So I hope that answers your question. I know that it's a hard one to answer, because, look, the biggest threat to the world right now is everybody going and getting a corporate job, which is exactly what they've done. They made it to where they internationalized everything, to where small farming communities and that, they can't do shit without international. They did that on purpose. And then they've driven everybody to the point with this bullshit to now, whenever you get $100,000 a year offer, you're gonna think you hit the gold mine. But you're just going to end up in the timeline of year 2000 like the rest of us starseeds that fell for it. Except this time, you only have 4 years to get out. You have 4 years to get out. Because the rest of us that are inside it, because right now it really is a simulation, but it's only a simulation right now because the world was being run as a simulation. And if we took away the simulation right now, what do you think would happen? Everybody still thinks that there's money. The whole world would stop. During the COVID, when it first happened, you saw what was running. The whole world was still running, right? The election was running, the liquor stores were open, the weed stores were open, the porn stores were open, Walmart was open. All the other corporations that everybody's supposedly making the world go round, nobody was working. Because it doesn't matter. Because it's how they set it up. So this is whenever I say being like in the next year to two, those of us that are at 0 point, we're literally going to be able to walk and manifest a trash can while we're walking down the street to throw our shit in like magic. But understand that's because we're still in a simulation. And that's why it's so powerful. This is why I keep screaming, I should not be as powerful as I am. It's because when you're a light being trapped in a metal fucking ball, it's kind of electric. But that is what makes money. So if you're a money maker down here, you're getting your ass zapped. They're hurting you. They're making you cry. They're purposely calling you to upset you. They're purposely trying to keep you in whatever energy frequency. Or you're a bloomer. But if you're the power source, that's exactly. If you're the power source that's here making it, out of nothing, then that's how they were using you. Now, if you're a bloomer to where once a little bit of that frequency is made and you catch it, then you bloom it, oh, well, then your life isn't quite as bad. You have other situations going on, don't get me wrong. Emotional manipulation, number one. Like the whole don't do it, no one else is doing it thing, number two. You've had pain, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying the way that they zap you is that because they don't want you to get traumatized too much, because then that's a frequency that then's too, like, it's not going to bloom it. It's more emotional shit that they link into you, but you are a bloomer because you can take it. Now you got the plant, now you can turn it into something else. But in the beginning, when you're dealing with the dirt and all that, you got to get pretty tough with it, right? Before you can even plant something. Well, it's a lot the same way. So each one of us makes money in different ways. Sexual energy makes money because it is what it is. And in a lot of ways, like the Pleiades, this is why it's not in my book yet. Because number one, everyone, so many people think they're Pleiade, and look, they convinced me of that bullshit in the beginning too. So many thinks they're Pleiadian, but the truth is, Pleiadian's one of the least incarnate here, because it's just the consciousness right above the human bubble. But it really is where your entertainers are, and da-da-da-da-da, and they're all blue, but they get to be creative. See, they don't have to go get a job. They can be an actor, they can be a singer, but they're in a community that's governed by the cabal, or it was, or galactic space, whatever you want to call it. But it really is just a birth canal on the planet. It's where the divine children and the creativity energy of the collective comes in. It shouldn't be capped off, is my point. In a financial slavery system, it's division. The haves and the have-nots. That's how they have it set up. Well, none of us should have not. Not in a full ascended community. Everybody has. We know that energy can always be made. You just got to make it or alchemize it, right?